What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into Islam Makhachev's reaction to the UFC's decision to part ways with Rinat Fakhretdinov, a move that has sparked serious debate across the MMA community. Fakhretdinov's departure raised eyebrows almost immediately, despite holding a strong record inside the octagon and coming off a dominant 54-second stoppage victory over Andreas Gustafsson in September. The UFC chose not to re-sign him. For many fans, that decision seemed puzzling, especially given his consistent performances and ability to get the job done. However, some critics were quick to point out that while Fakhretdinov was effective, his fights weren't always the most exciting, and he wasn't particularly vocal or charismatic outside the cage. That factor appeared to play a key role, something Islam Makhachev openly addressed when asked about the situation. Makhachev explained that the UFC prioritizes fighters who can sell fights and generate revenue, not just those who win quietly. He emphasized that simply beating opponents isn't always enough in today's MMA landscape. According to Islam, fighters must learn how to promote themselves, connect with fans, and become interesting personalities, especially in the American market where entertainment value plays a major role. He advised younger fighters at his gym to improve their English, develop media skills, and understand the importance of showmanship. Makhachev even compared the UFC's approach to professional wrestling, noting that fans are drawn to storylines, personalities, and spectacle just as much as athletic dominance. While he didn't directly single out grappling-heavy fighters, the implication was clear. This philosophy has shaped careers before, including fighters who lean into larger-than-life personas to secure their place on the roster. As backlash continues to grow, Fakhretdinov's release highlights a harsh reality of modern MMA. Winning alone may no longer be enough. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Ciryl Adesanya has made it clear that chasing UFC titles is no longer his main priority. Heading into 2026, Adesanya has competed just once this year, suffering a loss back in February to Nasruddin Imavov, currently on a 3-fight losing streak. Things haven't gone his way recently, and it appears his mindset has shifted. During a recent conversation at Bang Tao Muay Thai in Phuket, Thailand, Adesanya opened up about his future in the UFC. Rather than focusing on belts, he explained that he simply wants to compete the way he did earlier in his career, when the pressure of defending a title wasn't weighing on him. Adesanya shared that when he's out in Auckland, people constantly ask if he's retired. At first, he would explain that he was just taking a break, but now he often jokes that he's retired until fans see his name on a fight poster. He emphasized that championships no longer drive him, pointing out that he already has multiple title belts at home. For him, it's about the freedom to fight, take risks, and express himself inside the cage. He referenced moments from his rise to the top, including his fight with Brad Tavares, where he attempted risky techniques like an Imanari roll. Adesanya said he wants to return to that fearless style and experiment more, rather than fighting conservatively. Despite his recent losses to Imavov, Dricus du Plessis, and Sean Strickland, Adesanya remains eager to compete. Both he and Strickland have expressed interest in a rematch, though it hasn't materialized yet. Other potential matchups, such as a bout with Michael Venom Page at middleweight, could provide an exciting stylistic clash. When asked which fight he considers his most perfect performance, Adesanya surprised many by choosing his bout against Paulo Costa over his knockout win against Alex Pereira. He explained that the Costa fight was his cleanest work, dealing maximum damage while taking virtually none himself, while the Pereira rivalry carried more emotional weight. Adesanya believes the Costa performance best represents his technical peak inside the UFC. Move on to another news. Bruno Ferreira has responded after Paulo Costa officially pulled out of their scheduled matchup at UFC 326, a move that has once again sparked frustration across the MMA community. As of now, No official reason has been provided for Costa's withdrawal, but fans and fighters alike have been quick to voice their disappointment. Given Costa's history of fight cancellations, many supporters were not surprised by the news. Social media reaction was harsh, with several fans criticizing his consistency, and even calling for the UFC to consider removing him from the roster. Some pointed out that the bout was still months away, making the pullout even more puzzling. Fellow fighters also weighed in, suggesting that Costa should hold out for higher profile matchups rather than accepting fights against opponents with less name recognition. Others were far less forgiving, labeling the situation as another example of repeated inactivity and unreliability. The backlash intensified as fans accused Costa of disrespecting the UFC, his opponents, and the audience. Shortly after the news broke, Ferreira addressed the situation directly on Instagram. In his post, he took aim at Costa, expressing frustration and mocking the withdrawal as something he has come to expect. Ferreira then shifted focus toward the future, calling out Roman Dolezat, a potential replacement opponent for UFC 326. He emphasized his desire to stay active and put on a strong performance for the fans. In a follow-up video, Ferreira doubled down on his comments, stating that the situation did not surprise him at all. He noted that many people predicted Costa would pull out when the fight was first announced. Ferreira described the withdrawal as a lack of respect not only toward him, but also toward the UFC and the fans who were anticipating the matchup. With Costa out, attention now turns to the UFC's next move and whether a replacement opponent will step in to face Ferreira at UFC 326. Fans are already debating who should take the spot, as the promotion looks to salvage the bout and keep the card intact. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall has revealed that he was offered a UFC contract in his mid-20s but made the surprise decision to turn it down, choosing instead to continue developing his career outside the promotion. The heavyweight contender explained that while the opportunity was real, he didn't feel ready at the time. Aspinall said that although he was confident in his skill set, he believed his overall experience wasn't where it needed to be to compete at the highest level. He felt there was a major difference between having elite ability and being fully prepared for the UFC environment, especially in terms of fight experience. With guidance from his team, he decided it was smarter to continue building his resume rather than rushing into the spotlight. Instead, Aspinall signed with Cage Warriors, where he aimed to gain more rounds and cage time. However, after a few fights, he found it increasingly difficult to secure opponents, largely due to the lack of available heavyweights. While he joked that he wasn't necessarily too good, the reality was that there simply weren't many matchups available in the division. Aspinall estimated that he was around 25 years old when he initially turned down the UFC offer. Just a couple of fights later, circumstances changed, and he accepted the contract, having gained the experience and confidence he felt was necessary. Looking back, he believes the decision to wait played a crucial role in his development and long-term success. During the same discussion, Aspinall also spoke about his time sparring with boxing heavyweight Tyson Fury. He revealed that he trained with Fury regularly, starting when he was just 22 years old. Despite being an MMA fighter, Aspinall said he wanted to sharpen his boxing skills, as striking is still a key part of mixed martial arts. He described Fury as an incredible athlete and a great person to work with. Aspinall noted that Fury is physically massive and extremely strong, adding that sparring in boxing gloves is very different from fighting in MMA, where smaller gloves change the dynamics entirely. Overall, he said the experience was invaluable and helped shape him into the fighter he is today. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev has opened up about his next UFC fight, shedding light on both his timeline and potential opponents following his historic welterweight title win. Since capturing the belt in November, speculation has been swirling around when the Dagestani star will return to the octagon and who he will face first as champion. After defeating Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322 to secure the welterweight title, Makhachev further strengthened his case as one of the greatest fighters of this generation. However, fans hoping for a quick turnaround may be disappointed. According to Islam, a return before late spring or mid-2026 is unlikely. In a recent interview, Makhachev revealed that the UFC actually approached him about fighting as early as January. He explained that the timing was unrealistic, as he had already completed a lengthy training camp and was contacted too late to properly prepare. As a result, he made it clear that January was not an option. Makhachev added that his next fight will almost certainly take place after Ramadan, targeting return between April and June. He also noted that if the UFC wanted to place his next bout on a special event, such as a White House card, he would be willing to wait. Otherwise, he sees no possibility of competing earlier. While the exact opponent was not disclosed, Makhachev suggested that the UFC may have been considering Michael Morales for the January slot. He emphasized that no name was officially presented, but based on the situation, Morales seemed like the likely choice. Beyond scheduling, the biggest question remains who Makhachev will fight next. The welterweight division is stacked with undefeated contenders, including Morales and Shavkat Rakhmonov. Despite this, Makhachev has been vocal about wanting a matchup with former champion Kamaru Usman. Addressing criticism from fans who believe Usman no longer deserves a title shot, Makhachev defended his stance. He praised Usman's experience, pointing to his recent victory over Joaquin Buckley, and explaining that seasoned fighters often overwhelm younger contenders. Makhachev described Usman as a well-rounded fighter with elite wrestling, strong striking, and comparable physical strength, calling the matchup highly competitive. According to Islam, the belief that Usman is washed is misguided. He maintains that Usman remains in excellent condition and would present one of the toughest challenges of his career. Whether fans agree or not, a potential showdown between Makhachev and Usman continues to gain momentum as one of the most intriguing fights in the division. Move on to another news. Merab Dvalishvili has shared footage that has raised concern among MMA fans, reminding everyone that even the most relentless fighters are not immune to the physical toll of the sport. Widely regarded as one of the toughest competitors in mixed martial arts, the former bantamweight champion has built his reputation on pressure, durability, and non-stop pace. Still, recent images highlight the wear and tear that comes with fighting at the highest level. Following his hard-fought decision loss to Petr Yan at UFC 323 earlier this month, Dvalishvili was left visibly bruised and bloodied. Shortly afterward, he posted footage revealing a noticeable scar, sparking discussion about the damage sustained during the bout. Despite the concern from fans, there's little indication that Dvalishvili is slowing down or stepping away from training. Not long after, a video circulated online showing Dvalishvili back in the gym, sparring alongside Omar Montes, the artist known for performing Ilia Tapuria's walkout song. The clip reinforced the idea that Merab has already returned to work mode, showing no signs of hesitation after the grueling loss. In the aftermath of the fight, many fans and analysts believe it's only a matter of time before the UFC announces a trilogy bout between Dvalishvili and Yan. Their rivalry has delivered high-level competition, and interest in a third meeting continues to grow. Islam Makhachev recently weighed in on Yan's victory while discussing the fight in an interview. He noted that Yan approached the matchup intelligently, taking advantage of the timing and preparing extensively for Dvalishvili's grappling-heavy style. According to Makhachev, Yan clearly addressed the mistakes he made in their first encounter and came into the rematch far more prepared. Looking ahead to a potential third fight, Makhachev suggested that Yan would have a clear advantage due to his understanding of what to expect from Dvalishvili. However, he cautioned that Merab can never be underestimated, emphasizing his relentless pressure and ability to impose his wrestling. While Yan may feel more confident going into a trilogy bout, Makhachev believed discipline, preparation, and the right mindset would still be essential. Move on to another news. Shara Bullet Magomedov has sent a clear warning to Arman Tsarukyan ahead of their upcoming grappling matchup, pushing back against the widespread belief that Tsarukyan will have an easy night. While many fans expect the elite lightweight grappler to dominate, Magomedov insists this contest will be very different from anything Tsarukyan has faced before. The two are set to meet in a grappling bout on December 30 at a Hype FC event in Yerevan, Armenia. Although Magomedov typically competes as a middleweight in MMA, Tsarukyan is considered a large and physically imposing lightweight with highly respected wrestling and submission skills. Tsarukyan has already recorded multiple submission victories in grappling competitions this year, reinforcing his reputation as one of the most dangerous ground fighters in the sport. However, speaking recently to Red Corner MMA, Magomedov made it clear that past accomplishments won't matter once the match begins. He emphasized that the 6-minute bout is all that counts and described himself as a fighter who pushes through adversity until the very end. According to Magomedov, many have tried to overwhelm or submit him before, but none have succeeded. He framed the matchup as both a major challenge and a valuable learning opportunity. Magomedov also explained that Tsarukyan's popularity and high profile were key reasons for accepting the bout. He believes the matchup benefits him greatly, offering a chance to sharpen his wrestling and test himself against a top-tier opponent. While acknowledging the difficulty of the contest, Magomedov warned that the 6 minutes will be extremely demanding for Tsarukyan. It's worth noting that Magomedov currently boasts a takedown defense rate of 71% in the UFC, a statistic that adds another layer of intrigue to the matchup. Beyond the grappling bout, Magomedov was also asked about Tsarukyan once again being passed over for a lightweight title opportunity, despite submitting Dan Hooker in his most recent fight. Magomedov suggested that business factors played a role, pointing to the UFC's growing focus on Western markets and star power. Referencing the upcoming interim title fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, he explained that both fighters bring strong fan appeal and marketability. According to Magomedov, Tsarukyan had his chance to secure a title shot, and missing that opportunity ultimately worked against him. As anticipation builds, all eyes will be on December 30 to see whether Magomedov can back up his warning and deliver on his bold claims.